Hello and welcome to They Think It's All Over. If you watch Series 2 of They Think It's All Over, you're in for a treat, because we've packed all the best bits into 1.5 hour. But if you didn't watch that series, welcome to a brand new episode of They Think It's All Over, with loads of great new gags about last year's sport. The special guest was going to be Will Carling, but he's decided to pull it. The royal family are always keen to use traditional contraceptive methods. So, more than adequately filling his shoes, we've got the Scottish Rugby Union captain, and therefore presumably a close friend of Princess Anne, Rob Wainwright. Apparently, if you get in with Princess Margaret as well, you get the Triple Crown. And if you get Prince Edward, you get the Grand Slam. It's Gary's team's turn. Unstitch this one.
Oh, yes. I think it's Martina Navratilova's new girlfriend, is it?
Was that you years ago? David Gower years ago?
He's the Lloyd Webber brother who got the looks.
Harpo Lloyd Webber.
Harpo Gower, that one, isn't it? Must be Eubank.
Eubank in the middle.
Yeah, Eubank. Do you know why he wears a monocle?
Go on.
Because he doesn't want to go into the opticians and ask for spectacles.
The bottom one looks like must be a rugby player or something like that. I haven't seen it. You see Will Carling picking up the trophy. That was good. Not the last time he's been in the royal box.
That's one you've got then.
Gower.
Yes, Gower's hair before he put it on the hot wash. Yeah? That was when David Gower was known as the fifth stylistic.
Can I just say, you know, that we had a bit of an advantage there, except for the fact that Dave didn't realise that was his hair.
Well, I don't suppose you'd have got yours either, would you, mate? No, I've got no idea.
Hang on, darts player, it is Leighton Rees.
OK, so you're going for Leighton Rees, the darts player. Let's split it up and have a look.
Where is Leighton?
David Gower, we know. Eubank, we know. And Ozzy Ardiles, of course. Often compared to Leighton Rees, the darts player. Ozzy Ardiles has now moved to the Japanese league, where he's having about as much success as you did. That wasn't too bad of me, was it? I haven't had a go at your hair yet. How long have you been working in that chip shop? David, Lee and Teddy, here's yours.
I don't know his name right, but the bloke nearest to us, he's in the Guinness Book of Records. Because what he does, he swallows rugby players and then he pulls them out of his penis.
I think that's definitely Mike Tyson.
Well, I'll give you one for Mike Tyson, definitely. Frank Bruno, incidentally, this week has said it's still his ambition to go 15 rounds with Mike Tyson. Another 8 fights should do it.
I went to Las Vegas to watch the fight.
Did you really?
I did, yeah. I got mixed up. I thought it was Tyson fighting Bruno Brooks. Which obviously I would have paid millions. So.
I think it's Rob Andrew. Yeah.
Yes, Rob Andrews correct. He's known both as a gentleman and a rugby player. He always makes an effort to light a lady's farts for her.
We're a bit lost on it, really. I think the only one's Mark McGee we can think of.
No.
Jockey Wilson.
Jockey with the face you think is Jockey Wilson. Well, let's split them up and have a look. So it's Mike Tyson, Rob Andrew and Mike Atherton. And, of course, you know what they say, when Atherton fails, the England team fails, and when Atherton succeeds, the England team fails. Gary, Rory and Craig, your celebration comes from the third round of this year's FA Cup, when Watford took on Wimbledon at Vicarage Road. Incidentally, keep an eye out for Liverpool Mick Harford's impromptu appearance.
Try one, through Mooney, and this time it's gone in. And Mooney has scored against the Premiership side.
It's Watford, isn't it? So they knew Graham Taylor was about to become their manager, so they were practising dying on their arses.
Do you want a clue?
Yes.
As I gave them one. OK, it's got a film link.
I don't know, 8 sportsmen on their backs with their legs in the air. Is it the Princess Di story?
then, if nobody knows it, hear Tom Mooney, the goal scorer, explain it for us.
We were travelling home from an away game and we watched a film called Animal House. We decided that in the FA Cup game against Wimbledon, we'd try and beat them at their own game. And after I scored, the shout was dead ants and we laid down and wiggled our legs, hoping to wind Wimbledon up a little.
Stamped on by Mick Harford.
They did stop very quickly after Mick Harford went through them, and then Vinnie Jones appeared with a kettle of boiling water. So many thanks there to Tom Moody for providing us with that explanation, but we can't possibly let him go without humiliating him unnecessarily. Here are some of Tom's other attempts to tell the story in one sentence.
We watched a film called Dead Ants. No. Wimbledon are renowned for their celebrations. We thought we'd try and beat them at our own game. Their own game. Whilst travelling back from an away game, we watched a film on the TV. In one of the scenes, there was a dead ant situation.
Did you see that about Ron Atkinson's house getting burgled?
Yep.
By the way, the other
Terrible.
week? Brilliant. I thought. Personally,
No, his wife was she tied up for 14 hours or something.
Yeah.
That'll teach you to invite Frank Boff round for dinner, won't it? And how much jewellery?
I was going to say, I didn't see the point in raiding Ron Atkinson's house when he wasn't there, because he wears all of his valuables. OK, Gary, Rory and Gabby, your goal comes from the all-important cup tie between Shrewsbury and Scunthorpe at Gay Meadow.
Shrewsbury have scored 11 in the previous round. They haven't managed one so far today. But here's possibly a chance. Richard Scott. Oh, that's a delightful lob. Richard Scott's done it for Shrewsbury.
OK, Gary's side, what on earth was going on there?
Are they all doing an impression of Mrs. Ron Atkinson trying to get to the phone?
Yes, that's correct, 3 points.
I think it's their impression of Chris Waddle. Waddle?
No, Waddle.
Oh, look, I tried. I tried.
No, Gabby,
It's the only footballer.
Waddle in footballing terms doesn't mean to sort of walk in a waddly way. It means to
actually a
miss
player.
a very important penalty in a crucial... to waddle.
I know 3 footballers, and that's 1, 2.
Who's the third?
Ginola.
Do that face again, Gabby.
No, that was just once. You have to say the name again. Innit?
Ginola.
What?
Let's try this one. Lineker.
No.
Gary, Rory and Chris, your clip comes from 1989, and it's a cricketing one involving a certain Mr. David Gower. After a disastrous day during the second test against Australia, little Lord Fauntleroy was getting a bit of a racing from the assembled journalists.
Can you tell us why you didn't let Fozzie bowl from the nursery end today?
Fozzie's, well... Yeah, Fozzie isn't the only bowler on the park, but Fozzie, right, did bowl well yesterday, yeah, fine.
But he so obviously bowls better from the nursery end.
Right, OK, thanks, boys, I'm off.
So, what was David's excuse for leaving the hostile press conference rather earlier than expected?
Did his hair have to be back at the shop by 5 o'clock? Go and do it for us, David. Go and do it for us.
No, later. Just a few more lines first, then I'll go.
It's typical Gower performance, wasn't it? He dealt with a couple of easy ones, looked good, then suddenly he's out.
Easy. No, yeah. Dave, ain't worth it, mate. Easy. Was the Tiger Moth parked on double yellow lines?
You weren't rushing off through Will Carling's alibi, were you? Yes, he's with me, Julia. He can't talk now. He's in bed reading the Bible.
Wasn't he going to go to the theatre or something like that?
He claimed he had opera or theatre tickets.
He really went for a drink for a couple of hours because I was there.
He said he was meeting friends at the opera.
Yes, I'm going to have to give you the points. David, would you like to confirm that that is indeed what happened?
I had to go to anything goes.
And I must say, David, you were very defensive during that press conference. Maybe if you tried that out on the pitch. David, Lee and Teddy, your excuse comes from Spain. Earlier this season, Seville's Real Betis, seen here playing local rival Sevilla, refused to let a season ticket holder into any more home games for the flimsy and pathetic reason that he had died the previous week. So what excuse were his family given for not being allowed to take the dead man into the ground?
Is it because like he spoils the atmosphere? Because every time a Mexican wave gets to him, it just stops. Is it because it would upset, like, because, you know, if they started shouting out, who's the bastard in the black, the Undertaker would get upset.
Well, that's the closest so far.
It's all gone quiet over there. I think it's a good idea having dead people at the game, though, because it'd take the smell away from them burgers, wouldn't it?
It must be something peculiarly Spanish, because it doesn't happen in England, because Graham Kelly goes to every FA Cup final, doesn't he? I suppose week after week he looked less like the photo on his ID card.
I don't think we're going to get this, are we? Let's actually hear the explanation from a Real Betis fan.
The son had put his ashes in a glass container, so security wouldn't let him in.
He couldn't take a glass container of his father's ashes into the ground. I mean, it's coming to something, isn't it, when you can't take a bottle of pop to the game.
That's just so obvious, wasn't it?
But happily...
That's the best joke I've ever heard.
Oh, you sad case.
No, I love that joke. That's great.
But happily they did reach a compromise.
So he put him in a milk cartoon, and so the next derby between Betis and Sevilla, the Sevilla fans waved lots of milk cartoons to pull our legs.
Yep. They actually put his ashes in a milk carton, and to prove it, we sent our cameras to Real Betis to capture the excitement of the local derby.
How many hours a day do you practice, Mister?
I play a lot. I practice about sort of 6 or 7 hours a day.
And you still get beat? That's quite tough. I'd cut down on that playing, right, you know, and have a bit of a social life, mate. That's why. Because, like, if you don't practice, you stand up, still get your arse kicked and go out for the evening, couldn't you? Pleasure to meet you, mate. Yes. Nice, sweet England striker. Because Gary used to do that, you know. Did he really? Yeah. How's your toes, mate? All right. Yeah. That's what I think, you know, toes very important as a striker. I mean, Douglas Bader loses his legs, still flies in the Battle of Britain. Hey, oh, splinter in my toe! Stevenage Borough, that team there, they had a former Brazilian World Cup player who used to play for them. From the 1970 World Cup, he used to play for Stevenage Borough. Just a bit of trivia there.
Who's that?
His name was Yorso.
Yeah?
Yorso Gullible. Yes! Set up! Steve, you know when you're playing snooker, right, and you're like, you know, like the other geezer, he's a bit ahead.
What, and I lose?
No, perhaps you might make a surge in recovery. Yeah? Highly unlikely, but let's carry on. So you're sitting there, right, and the other bloke is playing, and he's like scoring loads of points, and you're sitting there, and you're sort of tempted, if he's playing a shot straight down towards you, so the camera's behind him and they can't see you, to sit there and go... you know, put him off a bit, do you know what I mean? And if anybody says anything, you say, no, it's chalk, mate, that's all. You do that. Oh, Steve, he's sitting there, right? And he's taking a beating, and there's nothing. You just got to take the punishment, haven't you?
You can't hide. No, and
well, why would you want to?
It'd be quite funny if you did, wouldn't it? If you'd hidden, like they could say, Stephen Hendry, break of 35. David's team first. Can you tell us, please, who wrote this?
We form the Nerds and the Julios. A nerd needs no explanation, while the Julios, the good-looking blokes in the squad, take their name from Julio Iglesias. The nerds are Maisie, Heels, Tubby, AB, me, Tugger, Ziggy, Babsy, Zimmo and Pistol. The Julios are Hooter, Slats, BJ, Billy, Junior, Unit, Warney, Cracker and Motto.
Sounds like a cast list for Grange Hill, doesn't it? I'll just say I've used all those names while working and signing on.
I have this feeling, which I won't talk about now.
Both hands on the table, I'd like that recorded.
No, those are all Australian cricketers.
There were 19 of them.
And we've worked it out, that's how they beat us. So because they had far too many people on the pitch. Yes, 11th, I think.
If you've got to explain it, it ain't funny. Carry on.
Look at the names that were there. I think it must have been Merv Hughes who wrote the book.
Absolutely correct. Merv Hughes. From his... There it is, from his diary of the 1993 tour of England. He also mentions some of the England team's nicknames as well. They've got similar nicknames: Droppy, Useless, Norto, Corto, Boldo, Legbeforo and Atherton. David Gower's nickname, of course, was Started Brightly, then Chased a Wide One to Third Slipper.
Is that easy to say?
No. David Gower's nickname, of course, was Started Brightly.
All hands on the table. Yeah?
David Gower, of course, didn't have a nickname. Right, Gary's side now. Another sporting diary for you, whose fast lane existence is written down here.
Something very unusual happens today. For the first time in about 5 years, I hand wash and hoover the cars. I celebrate our 6-point lead at the top in style by creosoting the new fence.
England striker.
What do the ladies and gentlemen think? Do we think it's Alan Shearer?
Do you want a clue, Rory?
Do
you want a clue?
Have you got one?
Yeah, well, I'm going to narrow it down for you. It says, I celebrate our 6-point lead at the top in style, so it can't be West Ham.
Alan Shearer.
Alan Shearer is absolutely correct.
Oh,
There's also another bit in it, apparently, where he says he scored his first goal for England, rushed home, hurled his wife onto the bed and hoovered where she'd been standing. After the match, apparently, when all the lads are in the communal bath having a good old sing-song and drinking the ale, he's the one having a good go at the taps with liquid gumption. OK, can we have our next mystery guest, please? The day Lee Hurst died. Your 90 seconds start now.
Is it Robocop? It is! Oh, don't feed
You're
it.
dead, you're dead.
Is it a pit bull terrier? Is this Frank Bruno's grand?
Come on, Nick.
You've got your blindfold on, Sharon.
I certainly have.
Can you see anything?
No.
OK, you ready? OK, can we have our next mystery guest, please? OK, your 90 seconds starts now.
Get out of the way, you. It's my only chance. It's someone who cheats at Sabutia. Nice. Oh, we got... Huge calves. God, they should be exported to France in wooden boxes. Any idea, Sharon? Whereabouts are you?
I'm just about to go to check the lunchbox.
What are you doing down there? Anyone you recognise?
I think so. I hope so.
How many does that narrow it down?
Is it all there?
Are they rough hands?
Hang on, excuse me.
Quite smooth, actually.
No, they're cold hands.
This is a touching scene.
Come on, lads.
Give us a clue. What was the code again? Cough.
OK,
It was
running out
Welsh.
of time.
Welsh rugby player. It's
6 seconds.
Jones.
Gareth Edwards.
3, 2,
Gareth Edwards, he's small.
That's your time.
Can't be. Who played that? I didn't know.
Billy Jones, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Classic subtlety from Mr. Lineker when he came in. What did you say?
Hi, Vinny. I can't hear it.
Where did the ears come from?
Vinny brought them on.
Did they?
Yeah, we don't know whose they are, by the way. He's just ripped them off somebody outside.
He did say when you said this is his name Jones. Yeah,
Well, I didn't hear you. Bad luck.
no.
Okay.
Cheer if you want to score some points. 1, 2, 3.
What's it got to do with you? Now it's time for our final make or break round, the name game. But this week it's different. This week the clues have to be given in the form of impressions. No passing, no rhyming, and no mentioning the sport involved. So just to make that clear, Rory and Lee will actually have to do a proper impression of the person whose name is on the card. The winning team goes first. That's Gary's team. You can pass that across to Rory.
Are we the winning team then this week?
You're winning at the moment. And your 90 seconds start now.
Now then, young man, it's all in
Brian Clough.
And you join us here.
Ted Lowe.
It's all in a brown paper bag under the...
Leicester.
I'm not an Irish man myself, but my brother should wear one. I'm not Irish myself, but I recognise Irish people.
Big Jack Charles.
Yeah. You cannot be serious, Gary.
John McEnroe.
Very good.
They're all the same.
If you're going to take the piss out of my hair, I'm going to go.
Gower, David Gower.
Very good.
Harvey Smith.
Extraordinary game here. Extraordinary in the FA Cup. It really is
Rory
extraordinary.
Bremner.
David Coleman. John Motson.
Yes. Peter Beardsley is the most attractive man I've dropped.
Kenny Dalglish.
Ray Charles.
Being in the position that I play, I don't have to put my head between the legs until I get to Kensington Palace. There's nobody there. There's nobody there. That is woeful defence. That's definitely a penalty. Definitely a penalty. Definitely a penalty. Do I not like you, Gary Lineker?
Grant Taylor.
Here we are on Radio 2, and it's a knockout game here.
Jimmy Young. Eddie Waring.
Stuart Hall.
Well, you did magnificently well there, so you've gone up to 20 points, which means that you need 14, Lee.
Yeah, right.
14?
And your 90 seconds start now.
And there goes Mansell.
Murray Walker.
Grant, why are you doing this to me? You know what I mean? Quite extraordinary. Liverpool won, Arsenal did.
David Coleman.
Correct. And there he goes again, the bloke I just mentioned.
Murray Walker.
No, the driver.
Mansell. Hold on. Regan Bob.
Hello.
Nick the Miller.
No, there you go. I jump
Van Dijk.
I jump over and I kick.
Oh, my God.
Can I just say that Teddy said Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Hello. I'm the nicest man in the world, and I'm sitting over there next to the hairy one. I don't know the voice, but same.
Jimmy Hill.
Ow! Tennis player. Big tits.
Gaza.
He's on last week.
Chris Agabusi. Ellen Hughes.
Not quite Anderson.
That's the small.
No, I've got more.
Lee Hurst.
But he swims.
Duncan Goodyear. Jimmy Greaves.
How do we settle this one? Well, Gary, do you recognise this?
Yes, I think it looks like Gary Lineker's soccer
This is
quiz book.
indeed Gary Lineker's soccer quiz book, written, allegedly, by Gary Lineker. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to ask you a question from your book. If you get it right, or if I say you get it right, your side wins. If you get it wrong, David's side wins. Is that fair?
What about the David Gower book of cricket questions? Don't we get that out?
Well, maybe that'll happen another time, clever clogs. Maybe it's just down here. Okay, Gareth, this is your question from your book that you wrote.
Of course.
Who was the Airdrie captain who missed the 1992 Scottish Cup final after being booked for pulling a face in the semi-final?
Well, that's easy.
Yeah.
Because I wrote that book. But that was actually the page that was done by the researcher.
If there is so much as one question in here you didn't write, you're a cheat and a charlatan.
Well,
I wrote the questions, I didn't do the answer.
OK, Gary, what's the answer to that question?
It's Mr McTaggart.
What? You don't mean Jock McTaggart, do you? No, that is incorrect. David Gower is this week's winner.
David Gower is now going to spend the next 3 weeks reading his book.
I've got far better things to do than that.
I don't think you have. It's to decide the series. It's very important. It's a vital result. There's only one appropriate and dignified way to settle the score. David and Gary, I'm going to be asking you to compete head-to-head in a one-round-only game of paper, scissors and stone. OK.
Are we playing Iraqi rules? Which is like...
It's one round only.
This could go on sometime. Another draw.
Can I just point out the tragedy of Rory and Gary discussing tactics? That is pathetic. OK, ready? You ready?
Just explaining the rules.
Okay.
So you don't play that at posh school.
All right. Yeah. Ready, Gary? Gary? 1, 2, 3. Yes! Told you it did. Told you it did. Fair enough.
Moral very good.
Series winner is David Gower's team. They thought it was all over then. It wasn't, but it is now. Good night.
And it really is all over, at least until the Christmas special, that is. And especially